Yo, what's going on, y'all? This is Marcus Rosa, aka Mazuma TV, back at y'all with some more boxing talk, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive night. I hope you had a great day overall, man. I'm back at y'all with some more boxing talk. We're going to be speaking about how the anti-boots agenda is very real. We definitely going to be taking a look at that and responding to critics. We're going to get into Oscar De La Hoya shutting down the Ryan Garcia versus Conor Benn fight. We're going to be speaking about the Abdullah Mason versus Albert Bell fight as well. You know what I'm saying, and everything else that's in between. But before we get into all of that, if y'all could please hit the like button on the way in, that'd be very much appreciated. We on the road to 4K. We well into the 3,600 mark, looking to crack that 3,700 mark in due time. Shout out to the nation and the mob for making this possible. Shout out to everybody that's in the comments so far. We got 11 people in here so far. Very much appreciated for everybody that's tuning in. Shout out to Marissa Alvarez with the first comment of the day. She said, "What's up, Mark? How are you?" I'm good. You know, I'm well. I can't complain. You know what I mean? So it was a regular day. Got out of work a little bit early. Couldn't go to the gym because of the excessive heat. So I just spent time, took a little nap, whatever the case is. The wifey made some good food. You know what I mean? Ate that. And I just been on here just chilling since then, looking at, studying a little bit of film and Abdullah and Albert Bell. So I can go ahead and give you guys my final prediction tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that one. And, now I'm here chopping it up with y'all, man. You know what I mean? It ain't nothing really but working, chilling. I get my son tomorrow, which is also always a plus. You know what I mean? I'm looking forward to spending time with him, especially for the holiday. So yeah, we got some good things. We got some good things going on, man. You know what I'm saying? Salute. Denitric Banner, what up? He says, "Sup, man? You know it's bad when Tim was defending Boots when he was on the ring. Those dudes are weird on that show." Man, look, man, I don't even know why anybody, and I'm not saying you are, but I don't even know why people put so much stock into the people that work for inside of the ring. They literally work for the Ring magazine. They're paid, they're literally compensated very well, from what I understand, to push certain narratives and go against certain fighters and big up others. So and just be pro Ring magazine. You would think that they would give Boots some more leeway and stuff, considering that he's a former Ring magazine champion himself. But it doesn't always go that way, man. I don't know. I think like the media as a whole are just focusing on the negatives instead of just taking away that Boots had a phenomenal performance. But like I said, the standard is always different when it's a Black American fighter. And Tim Bradley, although I've been highly critical of him in the past, he was telling the truth. Like, yo, y'all complain about everything. Like, y'all just want to have it all, and then when y'all have it all, then y'all just find something else to nitpick. Like, I just seen somebody on Twitter talk about, oh, Vada wasn't involved in this fight with Boots and Xander. Why didn't Boots go with Vada? Why hasn't he been drug tested? So now we making steroid accusations, we making PED allegations, but when fighters actually test positive for PEDs, y'all ain't nowhere to be found. To criticize these fighters. Y'all was making fun of Devin Haney for suing somebody for being on PEDs, but all of a sudden y'all against PEDs whenever it comes to a Black American fighter. Man, y'all got to cut this shit out, man. That's why, like, for real, this is exactly why boxers don't fuck with the media. That's why a lot of the times they don't really like to give y'all interviews, and then y'all be upset and be confused as to why y'all don't get interviews, because y'all be pushing bullshit narratives that's completely false, inaccurate, and then you try to push it as if it's the real thing because that's something that you want to believe. Not that it's the truth, but it's something that you want it to believe. You know what I mean? And that's very detrimental to a fighter's character. You know what I'm saying? Fighters need to send out more cease and desist letters, because for real, these media guys is getting away with saying whatever. Should be disgusting, for real. But anyways, Sean Terrence, what up? Jay, what up? Yeah, nigga on Twitter really trying to allege Boots on the juice. Yeah, that's ridiculous, bro. Like I said, you know what I'm saying? Y'all literally criticize fighters for being on the juice when it's never been proven. It's never been shown. But fighters who have been caught on the juice, you have no smoke for. So why is it that you targeting this gentleman over here that's never tested positive? It's because you want him to test positive. You need something. You need something to put a stain on his jacket. Like you need that, because your hatred for this fighter goes so deep. The hatred is so real with you that you're literally trying to manifest somebody's downfall. You're literally attempting to manifest something that could literally destroy this fighter's career. And that's just sad. Like, there's a lot of fighters that I dislike, but I never pray on their downfall, some shit like that. Like, this fighter, like, I'm not the biggest fan of Shakur Stevenson. I'm not the biggest fan of Keyshawn. I'm not the biggest fan of Teofimo Lopez, Richardson Hitchens. But I would never uh hope that anything bad happens in their career. I might go against them in a fight, but that doesn't necessarily mean that their career is ruined. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would never hope that any guys come out injured, test positive for PEDs. All of these types of things are L's for the sport. And like I said, the main objective of Mazuma TV is to continue pushing the boxing culture forward. I say this all the time. So, shit like that, is going to put the boxing culture backward. You know what I mean? That's the opposite of what the goal is here. So, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy that people making these type of accusations. And man, I really think that, motherfuckers, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, a lot of these media outlets need to get sued for making them type of accusations, bro. Niggas need their pockets tapped for saying bullshit like that. You feel me? That's just my opinion, though. Z, what up? Lorenzo, what up? J Cash. Ralph, what up? Kyle Maurice, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? He said, Mazuma, my bad for the Devin question. I'm 22, just started watching boxing 3 years ago. I just like Devin will fight anyone, has heart, and is a professional. I know he has more tools, hasn't shown. Listen, brother, it was no offense taken whatsoever. It was just that the topic that we were speaking on didn't have anything to do with Devin, and I try my best to stay on track. I love answering questions. I love interacting with the chat. I don't know if there's anybody who interacts with the chat more than me. A lot of people be ignoring their chat. I think that's disrespectful, to be honest with y'all. So I try to get every comment that I can. But as the channel's starting to pick up, it's getting harder and harder. That's why I say, like, if y'all really have an important question that y'all want to touch on, just leave a super chat, whether it's $1, $2, whatever the case is. You know what I mean? Nothing crazy. I'll get to the comments. That'd probably be the only way that I could catch every important question. But yeah, I agree with you. Devin Haney, you pretty much admitting that you're new to the sport of boxing. I like that you're being transparent about that. You are young as well. And you're entitled to like Devin Haney. He is a phenomenal fighter. I love the fact that he has heart. He showcased heart in some of the lowest moments of his career. So I got a lot of respect for him. He is a professional. And he is very, very talented and has potential to be one of the top guys in the sport. So, if he isn't already. So, shout out to Devin Haney. I fuck with the Haneys. I fuck with Bill. I haven't spoke to him in a while. I got to tap back in with him. Might have to take a trip out to New York to go link up with the Haneys and shit like that for some work. But, overall, I fuck with the Haneys, man. They got my support on this channel. As long as they continue to provide us with the best fights possible, I'll be there to support them. The moment that they don't and they start acting funny, then that's when they'll be held accountable. That's just how I give it up over here, and that applies to anybody. If you're giving, because one thing about me, I'm not a fan of the individual first. I'm not a fan of the boxer first. I'm a fan of the sport first. That's the difference between me and a lot of these other people. So, you know what I mean? If you're making the biggest fights happen and is actually making, putting boxing in a good light, then I fuck with you. And if I'm not the biggest fan of you, at least I respect you. Like David Benavidez, one of my favorite fighters. He's making great fights for the sport of boxing, looking for all the smoke. Jaron Ennis, we just seen him just have a phenomenal fight with Xander Zayas, who was a top 154-pound fighter. Ben Rodriguez, he just fought Antonio Vargas, who was a champion in the weight class above him, and got a spectacular knockout. Like, these are things that you could appreciate. Now Inoue just fought his rival in Japan, and Junto Nakatani, and was able to defeat him and solidify himself as of right now the number 1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Those are things that I can respect. Anything that pushes the boxing culture forward, you got the salute for me. Now, when you start going against the grain, acting like, like Gary Antoine Russell, how the way he talking right now, this motherfucker ain't fighting nobody notable, like in terms of like big names, has no signature wins on his career whatsoever. And he trying to sit here and tell us that he wants to save the Shakur Stevenson fight for last because he wants it to build up. And bro, you way too at the beginning of your career right now. You have not done enough. You have not done shit in the sport of boxing for you to be trying to play the businessman role at this point. You be calling out all these niggas saying that you want to smoke with them, and you've been calling these guys out and you want to unify. I want to unify. Well, there's a fucking unification fight right here, you dumbass nigga. You be sitting there with your little blade ass nose ring, making it seem like niggas are so scared to catch the fade with you. Meanwhile, this nigga Shakur Stevenson is available right now, and you acting like you don't want the fight. You want that to be later down the line. Y'all niggas can't be picking and choosing shit. If you want the fucking smoke, run into the smoke. You feel what I'm saying? What else do that nigga only fight once a year anyway? Nigga, get it cracking. Fuck is you talking about? The nigga said he want to rumble you. He said that, you know what I mean, he don't feel like you scared of him. But, you know, you doing these interviews out here acting like, you know, you trying to leave fucking Shakur Stevenson as like a secondary option, a third option, a fourth option. Bro, no. No. The biggest fight that could be made for you right now is Shakur Stevenson. He act like he optimistic about fighting you. Why is your energy different? You sound turkey to me. That's just me. Now, if Gary Antoine Russell has some other big fights lined up, like a Dalton Smith unification, or whoever is a champion in the division. Who else got a belt at 140? You know, outside of Shakur and Dalton Smith. Who's the other one? The fucking Gary Antoine has a WBA. No, wait. The IBF is vacant right now, from what I understand. I don't know, man. Like, if you don't have another unification fight in front of you, ain't nobody trying to hear that shit, bro. Y'all niggas be underachieving like a motherfucker. This is the shit that I be talking about. You know what I'm saying? This the shit that I be talking about. Y'all niggas be wanting stripes. Like, y'all just want to be given stripes. Y'all niggas don't want to earn them. You want to push this narrative that you're the best 140 pounder in the division, but y'all niggas ain't trying to prove it. Y'all act like y'all want smoke, but then when smoke is available to you, when it's at your disposal, you start playing this businessman role and start talking about shit that'll be better later down the line. See, that's that type of shit I don't like. Your older brother don't even talk like that. Every time I hear your older brother talking, the nigga be wanting smoke right then and there. You, I don't know what's up with you, but to be honest with you, I ain't really surprised because Gary Antoine Russell was acting like that when they was asking him Jaron Ennis questions a few years back. They was asking him about fighting him because he beat Jaron Ennis a couple times in the amateurs. So they was like, yo, what's up with it? I ain't scared. That's never the case. But like right now, it don't like this nigga just be in his business bag as if he's he just is this big ticket selling ass nigga. Bro, niggas don't even know who the fuck you is. Absolutely ridiculous. But shout out to everybody else that's in the building, man. This should just be frustrating. I ain't gonna lie to you. Tricks, what up? Bella Faith, what's going on? Ralph, Nasia. Who else? I think I already shouted out J Cash. Lorenzo, what up? Marlon. What's going on? Somebody by the name of Max J. He said, why Jaron so chinny? Fundora gonna test that chin. Ain't Boots been knocked out before? Bozy can't teach defense. This how you know this motherfucker's an idiot. You need to shut the fuck up. You said Boots is chinny, but Fundora gonna test that chin. But Fundora done been put to sleep before and knocked down multiple times in his career. Boots ain't never been knocked out before. Fuck is you talking about? You sound super dumb. And he unified in both divisions that he's campaigned at. The fuck? And Boots actually has pretty sound defense. He just has to know when he needs to be a little bit more patient offensively. That's all. But I wouldn't expect you to know that because you're already on here spreading lies. Boots so chinny. Has Boots ever been knocked down? Has he ever been knocked out? He got hit with a good shot, and all of a sudden he chinny. But y'all never say that about guys like Nayua Inoue, who done been dropped before. Y'all don't say that about Ben Rodriguez, who been dropped before. Y'all never said that about David Benavidez, who been dropped before. And these are some of my favorite fighters, but I don't call them chinny. You know what I mean? Y'all never say that for guys like Lomachenko, who got dropped before. Like, y'all never say this about certain individuals, but when it comes to the black fighter, y'all always had this type of chinny type of criticism. You know what I'm saying? So, like, this is exactly why the graveyard is so extensive over at Mazuma TV. That the block party is so extensive because there's a lot of idiots out here. And, that idiot shit can be contagious, and we don't really want that, over here in our chat. So we're going to go ahead and get Max James the fuck up out of here because he's an idiot. And we don't allow that type of we don't allow that low IQ shit over here, man. Seriously. But anyways, let's proceed with our conversation, man. Like I said, y'all see it in the caption. The anti-Boots agenda is very much real. And I didn't know that the hatred was that real. Like I'm not like I knew. Like I knew motherfuckers didn't like Boots. Obviously, you see it on the internet all the time. You see a lot of people nitpicking and trying to come up with some type of negative criticism and stuff like that. Like you see that all the time. But to be fair, you see that with a lot of fighters. So, I just looked at it as just another fighter who just gotta, who's building up his hater fan base. You feel what I'm saying? However, I go ahead and I stumble across this on Twitter. And I see that I thought Mill City was at the fights. I thought he was at the Barclays. You feel what I'm saying? But apparently he wasn't. He actually linked up with Brian Norman Sr., who is a notorious Jaron Ennis hater. To be honest with you, he's been salty about Jaron Ennis ever since Jaron Ennis had attempted to make a unification fight with his son, Brian Norman Jr. They got exposed for pricing themselves out and, ended up settling for less money and, underestimating Devin Haney, a kid who, a guy who had moved up in weight. They thought they had all the advantages just to find out that they were in over their heads and that Devin Haney was on a whole different level. Now they don't have a world title. They still at 147, but, he actually kicked his father to the curb and picked up Ronnie Shields as his trainer. And he has come back and won a fight since then. His name was like Wagner or some shit like that. So since then, Brian Norman has been coming back, getting back in the mix, just got back in the winning column. And Brian Norman Sr., despite no longer being his son's trainer, despite no longer being relevant in the sport of boxing, to be honest with you, outside of just, talking about his son and hating on Jaron Ennis, this dude literally sits down with Mill City and is doing like a live fight reaction to Xander Zayas versus Jaron Ennis. And I thought, he ain't really have no horse in this race. You know what I'm saying? That's what I thought because that's what I had heard him say previously. However, as they're doing this live fight reaction, you get to see very quickly what Brian Norman really wanted out of this situation. Look at this dude. I'm gonna share the screen for the people to see. This was so around this point was when Boots had gotten buzzed by that shot from Xander Zayas. And you could automatically see the reaction of Brian Norman and how excited he was to see Jaron Ennis get wobbled. Now, if you are that excited to see somebody get wobbled, that just lets me know that you were subconsciously or at least hoping, on the inside that this dude got clipped or at least got exposed because, you've been preying on his downfall since he pretty much exposed you and your son for being ducks. So let's go ahead and watch this and, get and see exactly how much of a fool both of these guys look, to be honest with you. Mill City is a fucking clown. That's just my opinion. He's a hater. He tries to, he don't really say too much. He lets other people do the talking, but considering that he brings so many or at least considering the fact that he is so cool with guys who are, not fond of Jaron Ennis, it lets me know that they actually have similar takes. They have similar beliefs. You feel what I'm saying? So that's just my opinions. But let's actually hear this.
This work.
I mean, Boots get that out.
He doesn't believe that Boots can get him out.
Yeah, he's gonna get him out, all right.
Uh-oh.
Somebody going on there.
Sound like somebody about to get dropped.
Oh!
And he holding.
And he holding.
Xander clips Boots in the third round.
And
he's coming forward. Oh, and down.
He hit him low in normal Philly fashion.
He hit him low in normal Philly fashion. Do you see how the way this, bro, like Brian Norman Sr. really has like the craziest, and this ain't just him, bro. So many people got so much to say about Philly, bro. And I don't really understand why. Like, I'm from Philadelphia. I've had Brian Norman Sr. on my platform a couple times already. And, bro, he just has so much to say about Philly. Meanwhile, you was coming over to Philly constantly to get sparring. You've been relying on Philly in the past in order to help your son progress. Why all the negativity now towards Philly? So what are you insinuating, that Philly fighters are dirty? Like, what are we talking about? Since when has Boots ever been known for being a dirty fighter? When has Stephen Fulton ever been known for being a dirty fighter? you know, any of the fighters that are coming out of Philadelphia today, which one of them has a fucking reputation for being a dirty fighter? None. So to hear this shit, it's like, bro, this dude hating is just on a different level, dog. And for somebody who got so much shit to say about Philly, he was certainly terrified of Philly to bring his fucking son over here to fight Jaron Ennis. You know what I'm saying? Well, we ain't coming to Philly. We ain't coming to Philly. They ain't even want to fight Greg Hacken in Philly, you fucking pussy. But anyways, let's proceed.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute.
All right.
Someone's right. The Puerto Ricans win in the third round. I don't know.
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Beautiful shots. Beautiful shots.
Beautiful.
Wow, it look like a new fighter. It look like a new fighter.
He's standing there fighting.
Big right here, ladies and stand up.
Oh, shit.
Another one in the boots.
Regular.
It's regular. He's back.
Regular.
Boots is holding. Boots is holding.
Regular.
Boots is holding, ladies and gentlemen. He's regular.
I wish that I could have this moment for life. For life. For life. I wish that I could have this moment for life. Ass niggas, bro. Look at these niggas, bro. Yo, them niggas, bro, they was jumping out their motherfucking skin, man. They couldn't believe this shit was going on. Listen, bro, if this shit don't tell you, look at the veins popping out this nigga neck, bro. Look at this nigga. Look at Mill City. Look at Mill City over here, losing his motherfucking mind. Like, oh my god, it's finally the day. This finally the day. I told you, Boots wasn't like that. I told you. Shit is fucking hilarious, bro. Like, this dude ain't got no motherfucking shame.
Fighter. Regular fucking fighter.
Look, he losing his mind. He couldn't wait. Bro, he was suppressing that this whole time, bro. He tried to play neutral. He tried to play it unbiased. Like, he didn't really have no, like I said, no horse in his race. But this is what he was holding back the whole time. This nigga was praying for Boots' downfall in this fight. You know what I'm saying? He was trying to give Boots props, making it seem like he wasn't hating on him, and you know what I mean. He was faking playing that shit right down the middle. But this right here just ultimately exposed how you truly felt about Jaron Ennis and what you wanted to happen to him. But what's so crazy to me is that if this nigga is such a regular fucking fighter that you claim him to be, then why didn't you take that chance of actually fighting him? Reform World said, go to the 5th round. We getting there, brother. We getting there. I just wanted to show this. I wanted to show this reaction right here to show you how, look at Mill City face. Oh my God, bro. That is the most excited face I've ever seen. This nigga is elated. So Boots got hit with a left hook, you know, on top of his, on top of his ear. It looked like, you know, I don't think it was behind the head like Boots had said in that Andre Ward interview, but it looked like it was on the side of the head. So, you know, that throws off your equilibrium a little bit. You don't see the shot. You know what I mean? These things can happen. And according to, you know, Brian Norman, Boots is a regular fucking fighter because of what he had just went through in that 3rd round. Question. Just a quick question. If that's what equates Boots to being a regular fighter, then what the fuck is your son? What the fuck is your son? If getting hurt with a temple shot and recovering and still finishing off the round strong, if that's what makes you a regular fucking fighter, then what does that make your son, Brian Norman Jr.? Because when I seen Devin Haney move up in weight to fight your son, all I ever heard was Devin Haney ain't got shit for your son. He ain't got no power. You know what I mean? All this underestimating and your son is bigger than Dev, and Dev ain't ever fight nobody bigger than him, and all of this shit. And then that boy Devin Haney go up in his full-on welterweight debut to fight for a world title to become a 3-division champion, and the first fucking left hook he bombs on your son with, your son do the stanky leg. Not only that, but Devin Haney follows up with a right hook, I believe, and puts your son on the canvas. And best believe your son was not the same after that knockdown. So, and actually got outclassed by somebody who was smaller than him and no punching power. You know what I'm saying? To the point where he underperformed so bad, he laid such a fucking egg on stage that he fired your dumb ass because he knew you was the fucking problem. So if Boots is a regular fighter for this situation, then what the fuck is your son? Valid question.
Hold on. Let's see.
Regular fucking fighter. 23-year-old fucking kid.
Wow, what a round.
Regular fucking
What a
fighter.
round.
Regular fighter.
What a
Fuck all
round.
y'all hoes. Say something, bitches. Regular fighter.
Fuck all y'all hoes. Say something, bitch. Okay. We gonna say something. So let's go ahead and fast forward to the 5th round because we all know what happened. So we're gonna go ahead and move up a little bit to like 1 hour and 30 minutes. I think that's when this started to happen. Let's go.
Hit that like button. He hit that like with everything. He hit that like with everything he got. Is he hitting with everything he got?
He's on the house.
He hit it with everything he got. And Boots standing bitch.
He's eating his shots.
He eating that shit.
Boots hitting him with everything he got, and he eating that shit. Okay, let's proceed.
He throwing the house at him.
He eating that shit. Understand this. That's going to take a toll on Boots. He's giving that man everything he got.
Who y'all got?
So Boots hitting this nigga constantly and clearly rocking Xander Zayas shit is gonna take a toll on Boots. Nigga, Boots ain't the one taking punishment. Boots don't mind hitting a nigga over and over and over and over again. Boots is one of the best combination punches in boxing. How the fuck is Boots hitting somebody clean over and over and over again, beating them into submission, going to have an effect on Boots? Wouldn't it have an effect on Xander because he's the one getting hit? Have you ever heard of accumulation, you dumbass nigga? So you know, like he's operating from a hater state of mind. When a nigga's really hating, they not thinking about both sides of the coin. They just hell bent on hating on this man. Yeah, we gonna go ahead and pack him too. We gonna have a motherfucking block party today, y'all. Y'all niggas. Yeah, B. Norman been dropped twice in his career, and the one nigga he got dropped by wasn't even an elite level fighter, and John Nelson Figueroa. Let it be. Let this nigga say it. And that was under Brian Norman's senior's tutelage. Both times he been dropped, it been under his father's coaching. So, you know what I mean? I wonder who's really a regular fucking fighter. Is it Brian Norman or Jaron Ennis? 3 Heads said that nigga was hurt. Mark, what are you talking about? Are you talking about Jaron Ennis or are you talking about Xander? Because they both got rocked in the fight. My boy Tricks in the building said, this tells me that Norman Sr. is happy to see Boots have a shaky moment because they couldn't do anything in sparring with Boots or want anything to do with him in a professional setting. So, yeah, you definitely on point, Tricks. Oh, yeah, we all know Boots was beating the shit out of. Yeah, I've been heard that. Like, I had gotten a few calls. You know what I mean? I done heard a few different accounts of the sparring, and it was all similar. I actually had a homie of mine who was actually in that gym at that time, you know, working with Boots, and he done gave me the whole breakdown. Man, listen. Boots was whooping that boy ass. You know, Senior could deny that shit all he want. I seen Quadera Albright giving your son work. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, should just be hilarious to me. My boy Ray in the building said there's really some corny behavior. Hate stems from ducking the unification fight, by the way. That's a fact. That's exactly what I said earlier. So I know I ain't tripping. But let's proceed.
Who y'all got up so far, chat? Who y'all got up?
Boots is up, but I'm trying to tell you,
The knockout. Knockdown only. The knockdown got him up. That's it.
The knockdown be a good fight.
The knockdown got him up.
Yeah, my bottom was gonna be a good fight. That's it.
Yeah. Okay.
That was it. That's what I said.
Yeah. I got Boots this round too.
He's
playing around.
Oh, he's feeling good.
Oh, he feeling good.
He just lost the round.
He's feeling good. Let's go.
He's playing around. He back with that shit.
Yeah, he feeling good. Let's go.
He back on the jail.
Get him out of there, Boots.
We about to see. He moving. Xander moving.
Young boy, too young, man.
Xander warming up, yo.
Xander warming up in the 5th round. Okay.
Coming up and moving.
Young boy, he's too young.
Yeah.
He's too young, young boy.
Just fight that motherfucker.
Yeah, stick that
Just
jab on
fight
him.
him. Just fight him. That's
Hit
it.
that arm all you
Just
want.
fight him.
Xander's in that fucking pocket. Xander is in that.
He's telling Xander, just fight him, bro. No wonder why your son fucking fired you, you dumbass nigga. You want Xander to just fight Boots? Like, that's what you want him to do? No wonder why your son dropped you, because you are a fucking idiot.
Pocket. I
Yeah,
love
He in
these
the
type of
pocket.
fights.
No, Xander
I
in
love
the
these
pocket.
type
I
of
get
fights.
to it. I get to him. I like that in the trench fight.
Love this
No.
shit. Love this shit, bro. It's a good fight. I told y'all.
I love
it's
that in
gonna be a
the
good
trench
fight.
fight.
right
Yep,
here,
good
Lance.
shot.
I said it's gonna be a good fight.
Yo, but Xander.
All that
Let's
shit about Boots can't be hit. All that shit about here knockout
He ain't
artists.
making himself
All
out.
that shit is
But the
dead.
thing is, what I
Boots being a knockout artist is dead. I want y'all to hear everything he's saying. He's saying how he really feel right now. He letting all his hate out. His excitement is you know, getting all of his hate out his system. Just listen to him.
That shit is dead.
This shit going the distance.
That
Ladies
shit
and
is
gentlemen, like you
dead,
said.
nigga.
This shit is going the distance. That's what Mill City hating ass said.
Xander is going the
He's
distance.
not making himself unavailable. He's making himself bad to be hit.
Yeah, but I'm
But
saying
you gotta
this
hit
is
The longer Xander stays in this fight, the better it's
What
gonna
the fuck
be.
are we looking at,
You
bro?
wanna know
Look
the thing?
at this
Better and
shit.
better.
No, pay attention.
You know,
Xander
you wanna
fucking
know
him
the
up.
thing?
Xander fucking him up.
Something happened. Something happened.
Like
Something happened.
Something happened from
Something happened.
Oh, they both landed a great shot
That's a good
with
shot.
each other.
Oh! Get the fuck out of here! Come on, get the fuck out of here! What's up, Chad?
Look at now. Look at Xander. Now look at Brian Overseer's face. Look how his whole energy switch around. Look. Yo, you can see that shit on his face. That is a face of worry, concern, like disappointment, like fuck. This nigga just fucking turned it around. Look, he was clapping. He like, oh shit. Like he really thought shit was going his way. The moment that the shot lands, look how the way he calmed the fuck down. Look how his energy just evaporated. Just look at this shit.
Come on, get the fuck out of here! What's up, Chad? Oh my God!
Concerned than a bitch. I don't even know who this dude is, but he want attention so bad. Shit is crazy. But look at Norman Senior, just a whole energy just died down totally.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
Oh, he gonna get it.
Yeah, it's over with. Get him out of there. Get him out of there, Boots. Get him out of there.
He tried to play it cool like he ain't on neither side, but look how his whole energy died down, bro. Woo-wee.
He hurt. Ain't nothing worse than a body shot. I tell you that. That's what my God told me. Yeah. Ain't no holding. Get him out of there. Kill him. Let's go. Get shot. Shot in water. You smell blood. Go get it. Go get it. You smell blood. Go get it. Go get it. Bro, stop it. Bro, save that man from himself. He's about to kill him in there.
He's about to stop him.
Yeah, he's about to stop it. Yeah, that's your best bet. 20. Stop. Kill him. Go ahead. Do it. If you don't hear that 10-second clock, then don't.
This dude, he doing way too much. The dude in the background. But anyways, so you see how the whole energy died down, right? So now I'm gonna fast forward because I got the time frames put down. Just looking fucking stupid. Now we just gonna move this shit to an hour. We gonna move this to the hour 39-minute mark. And this is around the time that the fight gets stopped. And just look at these fucking idiots. You know what I'm saying? And listen, there's nothing wrong with picking a side and then ultimately being wrong. It's the fact that y'all niggas was hating like a motherfucker, revealing how y'all truly feel about a fighter. You know what I'm saying? Y'all be claiming that y'all unbiased and that y'all don't be disliking fighters. But the moment that y'all see them have a little, conundrum, have a little obstacle, then you start revealing exactly how you feel. See, that shit don't happen with a nigga like me. If I don't like a motherfucker, I say it. I don't like Ryan Garcia. I don't like Teofimo Lopez. I don't like Richardson Hitchens. I'm slowly but surely starting to not like Gary Antoine Russell. There's a few of these niggas that I dislike, you know what I mean, when it comes to this boxer shit, not as people, but as boxers. And bro, if I feel like they not that, then I'm gonna say that. And if they end up proving my point, I'll bring it up. But I'm not gonna be sitting here, you know what I mean, acting like I don't fuck with it, acting like I fuck with a nigga, and then when they have some type of downfall, man, I told you, man, I told you, this nigga regular, man. I'm like, man, that's some weirdo shit, bro. That's some weirdo shit. Like these niggas be disguising themselves as motherfuckers who are unbiased, especially Mill City. He's a clown. Yeah, Mill City been had hate in his heart for Boots. And I heard one of the reasons why is because Boots don't get a nigga an interview. But why the fuck would Boots give you an interview when every chance you get, you interviewing niggas that don't fuck with him, and you blatantly allow niggas to talk shit and bash him on his channel? Who the fuck? So let's say, for instance, right? I bring Tito Mercado on the channel a few times, right? And you know Tito Mercado don't fuck with nobody. But let's say I brought Tito Mercado in every fucking day, or at least a few times throughout the week. And all he doing is shitting on Shakur Stevenson. Right? Anybody. Let's say he's shitting on Abdullah Mason, Shakur. Let's say Shakur. And I'm just sitting here and I'm just letting Tito Mercado get all his hate out about Shakur Stevenson. And then I reach out to Shakur Stevenson. Yo, you want to do an interview? Why the fuck would Shakur want to do an interview with me when I'm constantly condoning a nigga talking bad on him on my channel? Or I'm backing his play. Like I approve of everything he's saying. Why would Shakur want to do an interview with me just based off of that? Why the fuck would I come into your platform when all your platform do is bash me and you allow it to happen? You know what I mean? And a lot of these media niggas be salty as shit. Me personally, I told y'all, there's a few niggas that gave me that spun me for interviews and shit like that. They ain't nothing personal to me, nigga. If you ain't available or you just don't want to do it, that's on you. Xander didn't want to do an interview with me. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't really hold it against him. I was like, damn, that's kind of crazy, but you know, it is what it is. I ain't talk shit about Xander in the whole lead up to the fight. Not at all. I praised him. I saluted him. I gave him a lot of respect. Even after the fight, I gave him a shit ton of respect because he surpassed a lot of people's expectations, including mine. There's a lot of things I didn't know about Xander that I learned, you know, on June 27th. So, you know, much props to him. But these niggas don't be getting interviews, and then you're like, all right, you don't want to give me interviews? Now I'm going to take time out of my channel to shit on you because you don't want to give me an opportunity. See, a lot of these media like outlets, like Mill City and shit like that, you know, they start getting interviews and start getting all these notable names, and then they feel like they had a sense of entitlement where when they get a few fighters on their channel, they feel like everybody else should just come on and show love. And if they don't, you know, they feel a way about it. Bro, nobody is obligated to give you shit. You feel what I'm saying? That's why I'm grateful for each and every person that I've had on my channel. Bruce Carrington, Brian Bomac, you know what I mean? Bomac McIntyre, you know, Breadman, Greg Hackett, YSL Sports Media. I done had so many, I done had a few different people on my channel. Thomas Lamana, Cornflake, Makai Phillips, you know, who's an up-and-coming lightweight. You know what I'm saying? I done had a few. I'm sure I'm missing some. I mean, even T.O. Sr. I had T.O. Sr. on my channel. Bill Haney, Brian Norman Sr. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I appreciate everybody that came on my channel. I don't sit here and act like motherfuckers got to do interviews with me because that's not the reality. You know what I'm saying? But let me go ahead. Did I fast forward this shit? Let me see. Where is it at? Yeah, let's fast forward this shit to 1 hour 39. I think this is when the 7th round comes up.
That was the step around. He got hit the body shot when you get in there.
Step around, yeah, but he got caught with a body shot. He got caught with another one behind it. Okay, we got Boots with the left, right again, bro. We got Boots with three. Boots with another left.
Stop holding. When you start getting hit with uppercuts.
So now he's standing. Now he's standing trying to fight. Yeah, standing trying to fight, trying to get it in. Which I'll respect Xander for doing that. You feel what I'm saying?
I said 10 mils. It might not even get to 10.
Yeah. I told y'all 7 and 9.
It's getting dark.
I told y'all
that dark cloud starting to come over.
He back moving. So I think he in there trying to make his adjustments, trying to see the best.
It's too late now. Ain't
He already won 2 rounds.
Who, Zayas? Oh, you too late. He already figured you out. You late. You real late. That's why he's punishing you.
It's getting
crying.
no.
That's why he's getting punished.
Ass
You got dropped in your fill-out round.
Oh my God.
You got dropped in your fill-out
He
round.
does
You're
not
late.
hold on ever.
Yeah.
I told you.
Come on, man. Come on, man. You got dropped in your fill-out
Again in
round.
the
Come
7th
on,
round, and he gets stopped.
And it's done.
He does not want any
Hey,
more
get in there.
punishment.
We told him.
Round 7.
Shout out to the winning boys. Shout out to the more Big Norman.
Absolutely.
And shout out to Mill City. We told them though.
But it's just like I told y'all.
We told them though.
Look,
Come on, man. We know this.
Look. He tried to now Brian Overseer want to do a little breakdown and keep it real. Nigga, shut the fuck up, bro.
Like the back of our hand.
You don't know no goddamn spoil like the back of your head.
Shit.
You
What the hell?
You see what I'm watching? I'm at the gym every day. I'm at the gym every day. Shout out Power. Shout out both fighters. Oh, shout out
great. That was a great.
Oh, hold on. Let me tell you.
That was a great fucking fight. I'm glad they didn't take my bet on that final on that distance. I'm glad they didn't take my final on the distance.
Shout out Brian Norman Senior. Shout out Brian Norman.
Stupid ass. But anyways, man, yo, the hate is very real. I don't know what the fuck Boots did to honestly get all of this hate besides be a black fighter. To be honest with you, man, like this dude Boots be minding his business. He don't be going back and forth on social media. He be in his own little world. You know what I mean? He stay with his tight circle. It always be the same people around him. You know what I mean? Real nice. He gives back. I seen this dude, take time out of his day when he ain't even have to, signing autographs, showing love to the kids, taking pictures, videos, all types of shit. Like, this is a stand-up dude. And you don't never see him on the head. You don't really see him on the news getting in trouble and having warrants and being on the run and all this bullshit. You don't hear this nigga getting into any type of trouble. This dude has a strict program that he follows. This dude really lives the lifestyle as a fighter. One of the most complete fighters in the sport of boxing, one of the most exciting fighters in the sport of boxing. You know what I mean? Y'all complain that niggas is boring. They ain't got punching power. You know what I mean? They don't go for the knockout. Boots does all of that, and y'all still find a way to complain. they still find a way to complain. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm seeing more people throw respect on Xander name, and I'm like, how? Y'all niggas won't dare give a participation award to a black fighter if they lose. You know what I mean? Because y'all definitely ain't give Devin Haney no participation award. When he kept getting up against Ryan Garcia, y'all shitted on him. Y'all made memes. Y'all ain't give Deontay Wilder no participation award for going out on his shield against Tyson Fury in those last 2 fights. But, you know what I'm saying? Y'all made memes. Y'all made fun of him. But y'all niggas want to show Xander all the love in the world. Man, Xander, man, Xander's a gangster. Man, Xander. And I was saying that. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I gave Boots more props because he was the better man that night. You feel what I'm saying? And they saying shit like, oh, Xander, he got the chin, he can take a shot, he's only 23, he'll be okay. It's like, bro, get the fuck out of here, bro. Super weird. You would I swear this type of shit only be happening in boxing where the fucking loser gets all of the love and the winner gets all of the criticism. How the fuck does that even happen? Yeah, Nasia said if you was a casual and just heard these podcasts, you would think Boots lost the fight. You would think that the fight was competitive. You would honestly, because it really wasn't competitive. Like, it was like in certain spots, like Xander was having some moments, but overall, Boots was in control of the fight. The only round that you could really give Xander is the third, and even that one was close because Boots made a strong comeback at the end. So it's like, if you want to give Xander that round, fine. You know what I mean? He did something that a lot of people thought he couldn't do. You know what I mean? That overshadowed damn near the whole fight. So, you know what I mean? If you want to give him that round, have a blast. You feel what I'm saying? But it's just crazy that, like, you would really think that Boots lost, or, Boots won a controversial fight, or he got put to sleep on his feet. Like, you would think that, like, the worst case scenario happened to Boots. All that happened was Boots got hit with a clean shot. Bro, I'm trying to tell you, that fight was not competitive. Bro, Boots came out and landed like a double or triple jab off the rip. And once I saw that, I was like, bro, there's no way he's already clicking like this. Like, there's no way that you already like Boots ain't even have to warm up. Like, I'm like, bro, you are like you landing shit that clean already. And Boots go ahead and he lands off, like he lets off a series of shots. And Xander is, and I try to tell y'all, Boots' speed is different. Everybody I done heard work with Boots, they all say the same shit, bro. You can't see his punches. So I said, imagine with 10-ounce gloves. So now he get hit with them 10-ounce gloves. Xander's getting overwhelmed because he's trying to think in there with Boots, and Boots is not giving him enough time to think. Because as he's thinking, Boots is firing. And they're all quick, strong, accurate shots. And you can only take so many of those before your brain get rattled the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? So, man, bro, it's crazy the hate that Boots gets. And Brian Norman is really hating on Boots because Boots wanted to fight his son. And Boots was like, yo, like these, you know what I'm saying? Like these niggas turning down fights. Like, I don't know what's going on. He keeping it real. He giving his fans transparency as he should. Fans don't like being left in the dark and wondering what's going on behind the scenes. Give us some updates. Is the fight, you know, in the process of being made? Is it dead in the water? Are y'all at advanced talks? Are y'all about to? Are y'all close to coming up to some sort of a verbal or, you know, contractual agreement? What's going on? So Boots sat there on Wyatt Summit was like, yo, these niggas turning down offers like they, you know what I'm saying? Brian, no, we ain't turning down no offers. We ain't ducking y'all. We ain't ducking y'all. Bro, the fucking offer got as high as 1.7 million when y'all niggas wasn't making nowhere near that amount. And I bet y'all ain't make that in y'all last fight neither. I'm willing to bet whatever, especially coming off a loss. I'm willing to bet Brian Norman ain't even make $1 million against that Wagner motherfucker. But y'all turned that shit down, and then y'all was like, "Oh, we got the Devin Haney fight. We got more than 1.7." Oh man, yeah. Boost, Boost this. Like y'all was laughing to the bank whole time. Y'all niggas got embarrassed. Right back to square one, dickheads. Fuck is you talking about? And I like Brian Norman Jr. This is pop for real, for real. No, Ennis, Ennis denies that he was hurt. I guess in his mind, like just based off of what Boost said, I guess him being hurt in his eyes is like being unable to defend yourself, being like shelled up on survival mode. I guess being hurt is subjective, in accordance to who you talk to. Me personally, I don't think Boots was hurt, just, like hurt. Because to be honest with you, Boots' probably legs would have been all over the place. He definitely buckled, but after that, I didn't really see Boots' legs be gone or anything like that. I seen him actually, his mind was in the right place. So when I envision somebody being hurt, it's like their mind is scrambled. Like they don't know what's going on. I mean, they lost, for, a moment or so. Boots' mind, like his legs, his equilibrium looked a little bit off at, at certain spots, but his mind looked like he was there. And I think that's why he was able to maintain his composure because his mind was still in the game. So do I think he was rocked? Yes. But according to Boots, he said he wasn't. Only Boots knows, to be honest with you. But like my boy Manuel Stewart says, the legs don't lie. You know what I'm saying? The legs don't lie. We seen Boots' legs buckle, so he felt something. Now, to the extent in which he was hurt, that's a different conversation. Only Boots knows that. But from the outside looking in, yeah, he definitely felt the effect of that shot. But I give Boots a lot of credit because, for one, he recovered. And Mill City was like, oh, it took Boots a long time to recover. No, it didn't. It really didn't. I've seen people get hurt with one shot and they don't recover for the rest of the fight. You want to go see one? Go watch Julian J. Rock Williams versus Jamal Charlo. Jamal Charlo hit J. Rock with a jab. Boom! J. Rock goes down. When he gets up, his legs are shot. And his legs were shot for the duration of the fight until he got stopped. There's people who get hit with one shot and they never recover. I see Boots recover within that same round, actually hurt Xander at the end of the third with a body shot. You know what I'm saying? So I'll give Boots a lot of credit for staying composed because not everybody can stay composed in those moments. And under that type of pressure, there's a lot of people who fold in that situation, tie up, panic. You know what I mean? Heart just go out the motherfucking window. They shell up. They bitch up. I ain't see Boots do that. I seen Boots sit in a pocket with him despite being rattled momentarily, get himself back together and actually get back on his P's and Q's and fire off and, give Xander what he was looking for. Let him know, like, all right, you might have landed that shot, but I'm still here. And not only am I still here, but I'm still here whooping your ass. So you got to respect Boots for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all praise Lomachenko for getting dropped against Jorge Linares, getting up and then stopping Jorge Linares after the fact. Y'all shitted on, y'all praised Naoya Inoue for getting dropped against Ramon Cardenas, and, he got up and whooped on and stopped Ramon Cardenas. Y'all praised Naoya Inoue for getting dropped against Luis Neri, then getting up and knocking Luis Neri the fuck out. Why y'all can't do the same for Jaron Ennis? He ain't even get dropped. He ain't even get dropped. So it just goes to show you that, these dudes' energy don't ever be the same for black fighters. They're always looking to criticize them any way they can. I don't know if it's the inferiority complex. I don't know if it's a deep resentment that they have towards them. But, bro, listen, Jaron Ennis is a special fighter. And, y'all don't have to be the biggest fan of him. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, this dude, he's different. And it's going to take somebody who's also different to beat Jaron Ennis. And I think Jaron's worst enemy is himself. I don't think there's anybody at 154 that if Boots is clicking and firing on all cylinders could beat him. I don't think anybody could beat him as long as he's himself. Only way Boots loses is if he do some shit that works against him or he makes a terrible choice in here. Yeah, in there that, that plays his opponent's benefit. You know what I mean? Like Sebastian Fundora, Fundora's number one at 154. All right, whatever. It is what it is. If y'all that hell bent on that old ass Keith Thurman victory, so be it. Was it Cordell Booker that convinced you that Fundora wasn't true? Was it him rematching and making a wash Tim Tszyu quit or a damaged Tim Tszyu quit? I don't know what got y'all all up in arms about Fundora, but best believe, Fundora is tall, he is rangy. It is going to take a little bit to close that gap, but one thing about, Sebastian Fundora is, although he is learning how to keep his range and shit like that, he does prefer to have an inside fight. Not only that, but he also likes to give up his range to be the aggressor. You think Boots ain't going to be able to get the Fundora? With his body work, with his combination punching, with his accuracy, you think he won't break Fundora up? And then one thing about Fundora is he busts up real easy. Y'all niggas don't talk about that. Fundora nose be all bleeding. You know what I mean? Face be all swollen and shit like that. You think Boots not gonna get to him? Boots got a long reach himself. You think he's not gonna get this Fundora? You think Fundora is just like this fucking defensive wizard now because he walks in with a jab now? Come on, man. Shit is crazy. Virgil Ortiz is the biggest threat to Jaron Ennis. Virgil is the biggest threat to Jaron Ennis. But if Boots fights a disciplined fight, he boxes Virgil and just picks him apart piece by piece, stays composed, stays patient, lets the knockout come, he's going to punish Virgil. He's too fast for Virgil. He's too rangy for Virgil. He's too precise for Virgil. You feel what I'm saying? Boots is that much of a fucking talent to the point where Roy Jones sees himself in him. And Roy don't really do that with much guys. You know what I'm saying? Roy like to just put himself in a whole different dimension, his own little lane. When he see Boots, he sees himself. You can tell how the way he talks about Boots. Yeah, like, cause I know exactly what he's going through because I done been through that. You know what I'm saying? And then when he's talking, if you listen to that interview that Roy Jones and Andre Ward had with Jaron Ennis that dropped earlier today, you could just see Roy was just so excited to talk to Boots. I love seeing it, man. But Roy just kept talking and making all these different points. And Boots was just like taking in all the information. And, Boots looked up to Roy growing up. So that was a dope moment, man. Like for you to like grow up and, had his favorite fighter that you watch on a regular basis. And now he's sitting down talking to you, having conversations back and forth. And that's a good, genuine vibe between y'all two. That's really dope to see. You know what I'm saying? That's like the equivalent with me. That'd be dope. Like if I was a fighter, if I was coming up, for Felix Trinidad excited to see me fight and, talking, praising my name and, giving me game, bro, that would be huge for me, man. That would make me so happy. So I know that was a dope moment for Boots. That was phenomenal to see. And Andre Ward, Andre Ward had some good questions as well. It was a great interview overall. Go check it out, man. Go check it out. Roy was answering questions. He definitely was. Roy loves Boots. You could tell, like how the way he's excited about Boots. You can tell he's a real fan of him, which is dope because growing up, and till this day, from what I understand, Boots' favorite fighter was always Roy Jones. So that's dope. I think Boots, if you ask Boots right now who his favorite fighters is, I think he said like Roy, Purnell. Was it Purnell? It was like Roy, Purnell, and Floyd or some shit like that. He said that's the fighters that he watched. You know what I'm saying? Empty the Clip said everyone likes to say Boots is nothing like Roy Jones. Roy clearly didn't get that memo. Right. Roy be doing whatever he can to show that he identifies with Boots. Like, yeah, man, like shit just be easy in there, man. I mean, we fall asleep, when it gets so easy, we like to do dangerous things to keep ourselves focused. Like he's saying we as if, you know what I'm saying? Like we right here with it. Like we the same type of fighter. So Roy definitely understands the comparisons. He's praised Boots on multiple occasions. And, are they exactly alike? No, I think that Boots is, I think that Roy was faster, as crazy as that sounds. But I think Boots is more technical. You feel what I'm saying? So they have some differences, absolutely. I think Roy was a little quicker than Boots. I think he was a little faster, like hand speed than Boots, which is crazy because he was significantly bigger than Boots. But that just goes to show you how great of a talent Roy Jones was. You know what I'm saying? But I think Boots is I think he was more elusive than Roy. And I think he was more technical than Roy. So even when I feel like Boots' athleticism slows down at whatever age, I still think he's gonna have like the technical aspects where he'll still be effective. Probably won't be as good as he is now, but he'll be technical enough to get by, in my opinion. Who I got? Mason Abel. I got Abdullah Mason stopping Albert Bell, man. Like the more I watch Albert Bell, I'm like, bro, this dude, like I'm surprised nobody really made him pay for his mistakes. But considering the fact that Albert Bell hasn't been able to get top guys in the ring with him, that's probably why. I seen Albert Bell show a picture of him and Abdullah Mason when Abdullah Mason was a baby, and now he's fighting Abdullah Mason. So that is a bit weird, but at the end of the day, you know what I mean? They come to rumble, so it is what it is. There's like an 11-year age difference between the two, so you can only imagine how young Abdullah was in that picture, how much older Albert Bell was. But regardless, Ohio versus Ohio, man, I think, and I hate to see that Joe Cordina didn't get the opportunity, but at the same time, I think this makes for a bigger fight. Toledo versus Cleveland. I mean, it's going down July 4th. There's going to be some people coming down from Toledo. There's going to be some people coming in from Cleveland and all different parts of the country or possibly the world. And I think they're going to do some big things. From what I understand, that they don't got no more comp tickets. You know what I'm saying? They said the tickets is, it's looking like it's going to sell out. That's great for Abdullah Mason. That's great for his brothers as well, who are fighting on the card. That's great for Albert Bell. He's finally getting an opportunity at 33 years old. You also got Bruce Carrington on the card, who's going to be making his first title defense, which is huge for him. You got Scooter on the card as well, Derek Davis. And then you also have Tiger Johnson, who's fighting on the card as well. So, bro, it's a stacked card. It's a stacked card. Without the assistance of Turki Alalshikh, it's a stacked card. So, salute the Top Rank for putting that shit together, man. I'm looking forward to that. I cannot wait to get done with work tomorrow so I can go ahead, grab my son, come home, and just sit back with my son and shit while he destroying this damn house, and I can just go ahead and watch the weigh-ins, make my final prediction and just chop it up with y'all. You feel what I mean? Philly gonna be absolutely on fire tomorrow too, so you already know I'm flying back to the crib ASAP. You know what I'm saying? They said it's gonna feel like it's 114 in Philly tomorrow. That's absolutely insane. So we definitely staying in the crib with it. We gonna kick it. We gonna get some good boxing talk, man. You feel what I'm saying? Your uncle gonna be there. That's dope. Salute the J Cash uncle. That's huge. Saturday gonna be barbecue, Don Julio, and boxing. God damn, That boy Justin Jackson don't play with that Don Julio. Yeah, 114, y'all. That's what they said it's gonna feel like. Let me see if I can pull up that notification. I had gotten this. Look, see. Hold on. Let me delete these notifications. Look, y'all can see it right here. Like severe heat tomorrow. Will feel like 114. Like, come on, bro. I ain't even put my. I hope they ain't have my son out there in that heat today, let alone tomorrow. Fuck that. And they also said it's going to rain on July 4th, so it's like I was going to chill on the rooftop. You know what I mean? Probably grill something or whatever. But I mean, I ain't about to be doing that while it's raining and all that. That's dead. So we'll see. You said you niggas getting cooked. That's a fact. What was the weather today? It hit like 103. We having a crazy heat wave. We haven't been able to go in the gym because of the excessive heat. And there's only so much. You know what I mean, we ain't got no ACs or nothing in the gym, so you know what I'm saying? What you mean grill on rooftop? I have a rooftop. So like on top of the building that I live in, we have a rooftop. We got grills up there. So we could cook on the rooftop, chill, you know what I mean? Whatever it is, we looking over the city and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean. Out of power, salute though, brother. Tricks said, which fight do you think is more realistic to happen for Boots? Virgil, Fundora, or Kelly? Well, we don't know what's going on with Virgil. You know what I'm saying? We don't know exactly when his court situation with Oscar De La Hoya, who Bozy said was all a fluke at the end of the day. I remember I had a brother on the channel who was like, bro, these niggas is faking this lawsuit to avoid this fight. Now Bozy's saying it. So maybe there was some truth to that. I was giving Virgil the benefit of the doubt. I could have very well have been wrong because it's just funny how they beefing when Boots was trying to get a fight with them, but all of a sudden after Boots is in the midst of getting ready for Xander Zayas, now they might reconcile and finish off their deal, and that shit just kind of weird, bro. I thought they were just gonna fight that shit out in court, but apparently, they looking to be fighting at the end of the year. Who knows who they gonna fight, man? I don't know. But Fedora's fighting Ermal, the WBC silver champion at 154 at the end of this year. And they said they won't be available for a Jaron Ennis fight possibly until 2027. So those two are out of the way. Booth said that he wants to fight at least one more time before the year is up. Hopefully he gets that opportunity. I would love to see that, especially if it's in Philly. I would definitely love to see that. I think the only one that makes the most sense at this point is Josh Kelly. Josh Kelly's supposed to be fighting July 25th. I'm not really too well versed on who he's fighting. Let me check real quick. See what Josh Kelly's fighting. It's not even listed on BoxRec right now, but they said that he's supposed to. According to Eddie Hearn, he's supposed to be fighting, July 25th. Let me check if that's. Do I have the date right? Let me see. July 25th is on a Saturday, so that's 1, 2. That's 3 weeks away, according to Eddie Hearn. They're fighting. So, I mean, that's what they said. They said he's rumbling July 25th. After that, bro, they could fight each other later this year in like November or December. Why not? Why not? Telez and Boots will be good? Hell no. Who the hell wanna Yoenis Telez? Man. I seen they just ranked Tim. Tim Zoo ain't even finished. He ain't even fight Errol Spence yet, and the WBO ranks him number 1. How? Empty the clip said, check my last comment. He said, bro, it's not going to be Kelly. It's going to be Madrimov back here at the crib. Madrimov just jumped 4 spots in the WBO rankings today. Bro, don't nobody want to see that shit either. I'm going to keep it real. But if Boots want to stay active, then he's entitled to that if no other big fights are available. You feel what I'm saying? See something on Blue Blood. He pulled out Spence. What you mean he pulled out Spence? What that mean? Spence boots 2027. I don't want to see that. I ain't gonna lie. I don't want to see that. That shit would be tragic in my opinion. Boots will break up Spence, man. Bad. Ain't no way. Ain't no way Earl Spence pulled out. There's no fucking way. Y'all heard that? I didn't see nothing about that. Who said that? Well, I did see that Earl Spence, he didn't show up for the one interview that him and Tim Tszyu had. Nah. Hell no. Okay, he pulled it. Yeah, I seen that he didn't show up to like a press conference, a media event. Yeah, it was all the way in Australia. So I don't know when Earl Spence intends on going to Australia. He definitely needs to acclimate to the time zone and shit like that. But I didn't hear nothing about him pulling out of the fight. He probably just didn't show up to a media event. And Tim Tszyu was real pissed off about that, apparently, talking about, oh, I missed out on sparring and all that shit. And it's like, bro, you can still do your media obligations. You don't have to see Earl, bro. Relax. ETC. Yeah, I ain't gonna bring that comment up, but I agree with you 1,000%. They definitely ain't gonna be no clickbaiting over here, bro. Whatever the fuck I tell y'all, it's either something that's out there that people are talking about or it's factual. So yeah. Definitely we don't need views that bad. You know what I'm saying? But niggas do that. I don't really watch Bull Channel all like that, but you know, I've heard that about him a few times. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's true or not, but at this point, I done heard it so much it might be real. But regardless, yeah, you know, yeah, I don't like that shit. I don't like that clickbait and shit. Boots versus Xander rematch, summer blockbuster. Fuck no. Man, Xander need to leave Boots the fuck alone, bro. Xander just need to go up to 160, for real, for real. He need to go up to 160, man. You know what I mean? Build yourself up at 160 and go get another world title or fight for one. You a name, you feel me? So that you're gonna get a lot of leeway out here in these streets. You could basically skip the line. Trick said, do you think Emiliano Vargas is ready for Frank Martin? I don't know, because Frank Martin kind of looked shitty. He looked all right against Nair Albright, but he broke down in the end. One thing about Emiliano, he seems to stay sharp even in the later rounds. But Frank Martin's a grown man, bro. Yeah, he's a grown man. So you got to be real. Emiliano got to be on point for that type of fight. I wouldn't look in Frank Martin's direction, to be honest with you. Like Frank Martin said in the past, like Emiliano just said in his last fight, he wants to fight like a contender or a former world champion. I guess Frank Martin will fall in the contender realm, but I would rather see him fight somebody who, is gonna. I ain't his motherfucking matchmaker or his manager, so I really don't care who he fights. If he feels like he's ready for Frank Martin, give it to him. You know what I'm saying? It's all up to him. You know what I mean? He controls his career at the end of the day. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing a Jojo Diaz versus Emiliano. Mexico America versus Mexico American. Why not? Frank Martin got a broken chin. Nair definitely rocked his shit for sure. They want Xander to get hurt again. Yeah, I don't want to see that, bro. Like, for him to be so young, I don't want it to be a theme where he just constantly taking punishment. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Frank Martin is very dangerous, but Jojo Diaz, that'd be a good fight for Emiliano. That's a former world champion. You know what I mean? He's on his way out. He's fucking gatekeeper at this point. You know what I mean? You don't beat JoJo Diaz at this stage of his career, you just not built for it. Like, that's what it come down to. Is Frank Martin ranked right now? He probably is. I mean, he ain't lose his last fight. He probably dropped down a few spots, but as a matter of fact, let's check these boxing rankings, man. Let's check these rankings. Let's see where these guys are at. Let's check 154. So Jaron Ennis has WBA and the WBO at this point in time. Yoenis Tellez is number 2 in the WBA. Abaz Barao, number 4. Xander drops to number 5. Tim Tszyu just like how, bro? Like y'all niggas ain't even let this nigga fight Arrow. Y'all ain't even let him fight Arrow yet. He number 1. Madrimov. That's crazy, bro. So he could fight either one of these guys in the top 15. That's crazy that Mike Fox is number 13 in the WBA. That's crazy. Yeah, he got some names here. He got some names he could definitely pick from. But Yoenis Tellez being number 2 is crazy. Ismael Flores, I've been hearing about him. Bakram Murtazaliev is number 4 in the WBO. That's interesting. Damn, Tim Tszyu, Israel Madrimov. ETC said maybe Top Rank will do Emiliano versus Nair. Common opponent with Keyshawn. That's a good looking, recognizable name. I'm gonna tell you what, if Top Rank allows Emiliano to fight Nair Albright right now, they really believe in him. Because is Nair the best? No. But he's at this stage where it's like, if the nigga wake up feeling good that day, niggas might be in trouble. That's the type boy Nair is. You know, like Keyshawn may have been a little bit too much for him, but if you put somebody in there who's a couple notches below Keyshawn, he might beat him. Or he might just get them everything they're looking for. I don't think they want to put Emiliano in with them type of fights right now. Not saying that they won't, but I don't think they will at this point. If they was to line up Emiliano with Nair, they believe in him. They think he the goods. Like I said, I think the perfect fight for Emiliano right now would be JoJo Diaz. Why not? Nair could expose him. He's on point. Yeah, he can. Or at least give him a tough-ass fight. Emiliano's sharp, though, man. Like, I know some people don't like him and shit like that, but that kid could fight. That kid could definitely fight. He ain't no like one of those legend sons that's just trash. You could tell they just trying to guide him along. Like R.I.P. Ricky Hatton. Campbell Hatton was not the goods. You know what I'm saying? Like Chavez Jr. I think he started off pretty well, but he just burnt out at the end. And then who's the other one that they trying to guide? I was just looking at him the other day. Who was that kid? Remember they was pushing Evander Holyfield's son all crazy? Then he got put to bed. No, Mosley Jr., he's actually okay. He's not bad. He's not bad. He's just not elite. Like, he's not his pop, but he's solid. I got a lot of respect for Shane Mosley Jr. I ain't gonna lie. He got such a chip on his shoulder. You could tell he just want to get better. You could respect that shit about him. He actually a fighter for real. You know what I mean? But he's just not like Shane Mosley's. Oh, like he's good. He's not elite though. You know what I'm saying? That's how I assess him. Tim Tszyu won a world title. He not that bad. You feel me? He said, bro, I thought Camacho Jr. was going to be a really good fighter. Dude looked like he didn't take it too serious. You know, I worked the corner for his last fight. His last fight was in Hockessin in Delaware. And I still think to this day that was his last fight. And I had the pleasure of working his corner. I think he got like a first-round knockout. Yeah, that was back in 2019. That's crazy. He fought somebody by the name of Victor Abreu. And ask him. Ask Camacho Jr. who worked this corner. It was me and my pop. I got a picture with Camacho. Let me see if I can pull that shit up. But like first, I think dude took a dive, to be honest with you. Like Camacho Jr. hit him with a body shot. The nigga went right down. It didn't even look like the most flush body shot, but hey man, if a nigga don't want to fight, they don't want to fight. Let's see where that shit at. I got a picture with Camacho somewhere over here. There you go. Yes. He looked just like his pop too, man. He's just a little darker than him. And he was wearing his dad's hat. I forgot what they called it. And look, me and my pop in the background. That was a dope moment for me, man. That was a real dope moment for me. But yeah. Mosley Jr. put Bohachuk to bed, who Virgil got his ass whooped by. I knew Shea Mosley was gonna beat Bohachuk though, man. I've never been big on Bohachuk. And plus this was at 160. You know what I'm saying? Like Bohachuk got his ass whooped against Brandon Adams real bad. I knew that took some because that was a brutal fight, man. That like Brandon Adams and Bohachuk went to war. He took a lot of clean shots from Brandon Adams. So I know going into that fight with Shane Mosley, he wasn't going to be like the Bohachuk that fought Virgil Ortiz and shit like that. Like I knew he was going to be a diminished version of himself. And, you know, Shane Mosley Jr. took some punishment against Jesus Ramos, but just like his pop, that nigga's durable, man. Durable. He got a chin just like his pop. Shane Mosley had a hell of a chin, bro. I seen this nigga get hit by fucking Oscar De La Hoya flush. I seen him get dropped by Manny Pacquiao. Prime Manny Pacquiao still get through the fight. I seen Miguel Cotto hit him with some shit. Like Shane Mosley had a fucking beard, bro. I told everybody I said Shane Mosley gonna beat Bohachuk. So y'all sleeping on Shane Mosley. That was a weight class that Bohachuk don't really belong in for real. Took a lot of punishment in that fight. And I knew that Shane Mosley, he ain't the best fighter, but he a dog. And Bohachuk, he like to dish that shit out, but he can't take it for real. That's what I be peeping. Who's the best son that's a boxer of a pro boxer? I mean, Floyd Mayweather Jr. Boots. Well, you talking about all time, never mind. And niggas don't even know Bozy was a pro himself. Andre Ward's dad was an amateur boxer. Yeah, definitely Floyd. That's the first one I think of. Because, you know, it was Floyd Joy Mayweather Sr. I mean, he fought Sugar Ray Leonard and all that. Jazzy Jeff Mayweather, his uncle, Roger the Black Mamba Mayweather, his uncle. He come from a line of fighters for real. Coach Eddie, respectfully, I don't know who dude is. He entitled to do whatever he want. I really don't care for real. That shit not gonna stop with. Like them niggas could say and do whatever they want to do, bro. You can't stop what's in motion, bro. You can't stop. What Floyd said, bro, you can't stop God's plan, bro. So, you know what I mean? If it's meant for Boost to be the truth, he gonna show it. If he not who he thought he was, that's gonna show it too. You know what I mean? Like niggas just need to shut the fuck up and just, you know, live in reality, bro. Executioner, yeah, I remember that. Roger and Jeff was champs. I don't think Jeff was a champion. I don't think people don't even know. Jeff Mayweather fought Oscar De La Hoya. Roger Mayweather fought Chavez Sr. And Floyd Mayweather Sr. fought Sugar Ray Leonard. They all fought like notable guys. Like they all fought elite level guys. But Jeff Mayweather, he had a lot of fights. I didn't know he had that many. But let's see. Yeah, he fought Oscar De La Hoya back when Oscar was 4-0. Oscar was a fucking beast, bro. Oscar was a beast, bro. Go look at Oscar De La Hoya box rec, bro. This nigga done fought nothing but dogs. I don't think Oscar ever fought a nigga with a losing record. He really didn't. He never fought nobody with a losing record. 5-1, 13-6, 15-6, 14-6, 23-2. When he was 4-0, he fought Jeff Mayweather that was 23-2. Like niggas not even doing that no more. 16-0, 20-0, 53-6. He fought Jorge Paez. Damn. Oscar was the man. John Molina. Gennaro Hernandez. Jesse James Leija. I remember him. Chavez. Pernell. Camacho. Chavez again. Ike Corte. Obakar. Felix Trinidad. Shane Mosley. Arturo Gotti. Bro, I felt so bad for Arturo Gotti. I don't know why they did that with him and De La Hoya. Fernando Vargas. Yuri Boy Campos. Shane Mosley. Felix Sturm. B-Hop. Mayorga. Floyd. Pacquiao. Bro, De La Hoya a fucking GOAT, bro. Oscar a fucking GOAT. Jesus Christ. And even though he lost a few of them Jones, well, Oscar lost like 6 fights. He fought monsters, bro. Monsters, and held his own with all of them, except Pacquiao at the end. He was burnt out. I think Pacquiao put him on like a catch weight or some shit, and fucked over De La Hoya. But whatever. And a gold medal, yep. Definitely got a gold medal. I'm surprised, Marissa. I'm surprised you never got a picture with Oscar. Oscar must be hard to get close to, because you got pictures with everybody. Oscar's body shot was crazy. Yeah, it was a little sneaky John that shit was a delayed reaction from Oscar. Oscar was cool at first, then his body tweaked. He was like, you could have counted to 50 that nigga Oscar wasn't getting up. That was just a nasty body shot. It didn't even look crazy neither, but I seen B-Hop jumped into that shit, so I know it had some thump. My fam won the Golden Boy Award years ago. Only one amateur a year could get that. Most achieved. That's dope. Congratulations to your fam. ETC said, that's why I look at him sideways for how he shields his fighters. He doesn't let them challenge themselves. Well, it's a different scenario with Oscar because, for one, just because he believes in himself don't mean he's going to believe in others. You know what I mean? And for two, his money's involved now. Like when he was taking chances, he was getting paid handsomely for taking them chances because he was the golden boy. Now he's putting his bread up in hopes that he could flip that and make even more bread. If he feels like there's a situation where, a fighter ain't really what he thought it was, he or she was, and, he might take an L financially by putting him in there, putting his guys in there with somebody dangerous, he going to hesitate because his money on the line. Before, he was receiving the money. Now, he dishing it out. So it's a different scenario being a fighter and being a promoter. Oscar definitely be hesitating as a promoter, but as a fighter, that nigga win at anybody. For real. Roger had a fight with Sweet Pea. Roger fought Sweet Pea. Damn, I forgot all about that shit. Did he? Man, Pernell fought everybody too, though. Yeah. Yeah, Purnell fought everybody too. Purnell got an extensive resume for sure. I'm looking for that Raj. Damn, I forgot. Purnell fought Azuma Nosa. I forget about that. Yeah, he definitely fought him. They dropped each other from what I see. Damn, that's crazy. They don't make them like they used to. I just think the business of boxing different now, man. That's what I think it is. Boxing was bigger, so there was more money on the line, and I do think that fighters' mentalities was different back then. A lot of them was fighters, so they just wanted to fight the best competition. But now it's like these, now boxing is more like, entertainment based, and for the most part, there's some exceptions to the rule. But now a lot of this shit is entertainment and you know, being a businessman. What? Rocco said, "Why stop at Oscar? Go further to Bob Arum because he made Oscar." This is the fighter that takes a chance at the end of the day. A promoter can't make a fighter fight. Feel me? But Bob Arum made a lot of these niggas. We know that. I don't really feel the need to talk about Bob though. I'm not talking about promoters. I'm talking about fighter. But Bob did a great job building up a lot of people's careers. Bully said Twitter era Mason and Boots about to fix it back up. Damn. Bob a star maker? Hell yeah. Bob goated, bro. Bob definitely goated. But Don King built a lot of niggas up too, but ain't nobody want to bring that up. Don King made a lot of stars too, but man. Definitely need a haircut. My shit looking crazy. The 4th of July is going to have to deal with this, bro. I ain't getting a haircut till next week. Don King, the only man to beat Tyson and Ali. Man, he made them niggas sick. He was definitely he definitely was scheming, but at the end of the day, Tyson made what they say he made 500 million in his career. So where all that money go? Everybody talk about what Don stole, but how about how much you made? He might have stole a few mil off you, no doubt. But when you came home with 500 mil, you fucked that up. For real, for real. If I made 500 M's and a nigga took a few mil off me, I'd be upset that he took that few mil off me, but I still got 500 M's. Niggas want Mike Tyson had a terrible spending habits too. He'll meet a girl he liked, buy her a car. Shit, I don't know. It used to be wilding. There was a lot of money back in the day. There's a lot more people invested in boxing. Boxing fell off because of the politics and, investors going into different sports. Bob Arum and Don King are the most iconic promoters in history. I agree. Mike will be worth more, like 1.4 billion in modern inflation. Yeah. Yep. Mike was getting to it. But anyways, y'all, I'm going to get up out of here, man. I appreciate everybody that came through and show love as always. If y'all can go ahead and hit the like button on the way out, that'd be very much appreciated. I'll be back at y'all with another live tomorrow, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to continue cooking up what's going on in the sport of boxing. Until then, hope you guys have a blessed, beautiful one. I'm up out of here, man. Peace.